What do you think about West Ham?
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to A Game of Two Halves. I've got to say, I've got a very, very special guest on today. And not just a guest, a really, really good friend. Been through the wars a bit recently with the rubbish NHS system that's going around the UK. Good afternoon or good morning, Ray, whatever time it is where you are.
Yeah, good morning. Yes, good morning. It's the morning. I get up at 10:30. So I've got up early today to talk to you.
Well, around about a year ago, no one's going to believe it, but Ray was dressed as a vicar, splashing toilet water on everybody for about 15 minutes. They weren't having it. Ray, you're an avid Chelsea fan, so let's go back to the beginning. How long have you been a Chelsea fan?
Oh, blimey. About 50, 60 years, isn't it? Yeah, about more than 70 years, I suppose.
And all the family as well, aren't they?
Yeah, well, I talked them all into that because Rob had Millwall at one stage. And I went, no, Rob, not Millwall. That can be the second team. No, my dad this was my Saturday out with my dad, right? We'd go to the Dogs in the morning at Stamford Bridge when it had the race, the Dogs track. Then we'd come away, have something to eat, and then go back and watch the match, whoever Chelsea was playing in them days. And then we'd get a cab to Wimbledon to catch the last 3 races at the Dogs. So that was my Saturday out, if you know what I mean.
Do you know, Ray, that was my granddad. My granddad used to take me on the train to New Cross when there was a dog track at New Cross.
That's right.
And we'd do New Cross Dogs. And then on a Saturday night, he would take me over to Walthamstow. And sadly, as a youngster, he's the only man I know, my granddad, that went through the card. And I don't know if it was 11, 12 races as it was then. And he kept doubling up. And when it got to the last race, me nan said, "You're not doing it. Don't be greedy. You've won enough." Anyway, he didn't have a bet in the last race. Obviously didn't double up, but he actually got the 12 winners. And I thought, well, if he done that out of 6 dogs, it can't be that hard. And that's why I'm skint and I'm working still at 64.
Yeah.
Ray, I want to take you back really to the start of this season. And you and I spoke, as you know, last year. I was very impressed with Maresca when you won that first World Cup thing in America, And I actually had a bet on Chelsea to win the league. Where do you actually think it's gone wrong for Chelsea this year?
Well, I think I told you before what I've said to Rob is the people upstairs, the Yanks, they ain't got a clue. They just want to spend money and hope that you win the game or the league or whatever. But I just, they're interfere too much. Just leave it to the manager and the player. I mean, when they come in and sack Tuchel straight away, I thought, blimey, we've just won the Champions League. You know what I mean? So he got the elbow. And then as they went through the card, it was like Mickey Mouse stuff, wasn't it? Frank Lampard, we'll have him in for 5 games. And then we'll talk to Pochettino and then Rossina. And it was just a joke, really. As a Chelsea supporter, it was just a joke, mate, And that's where I think it went wrong. I mean, with Tuchel, I heard that the manager, the American, come in the changing room and started saying, well, I want him to do this and I want him to do that. And Tuchel told them politely to go away. And that's why they sacked him. And he had the same with Pochettino. They used to say, I'm the manager, not coach. I'm the manager and you're just run the club. You do the business side of it. But leave the players to me or the team who I take to buy, whoever sell. You know what I mean? And I think they interfere too much into it.
But when you go back, Ray, to the John Terry time with Frank Lampard and Drogba, you had a big spine of the team, a very experienced team. Right. Since they've come in, we know that there's Bluecoat and you've also got this Barley. They've got 40% each. Now, I don't know if you know, they took out a 500 million loan with a 10% interest rate on it, which basically adds 10 million, 5 million a year, which in the year 2023, it's going to be up to 1 billion, which has got to be paid back. Now, we know they went for a silly stage Chelsea, where they was buying lots of players from lots of teams and putting them on silly contracts, long contracts.
Big
Well, the
time.
government stepped in and they've stopped that because they was trying to get round the PSR rule and come in. I think this group of players you've got near now, earlier on in the season when Rossinior, I think it was a surprise for everybody that young Rossinior come in.
Yeah.
And I think when he come in, he just didn't have that respect. And he had what happened was because the players liked Maresca, they bought into Maresca's ethos of the game it's supposed to be played. They played for him. And when he come in, we know we had who's the curly-haired one? Cucurella has come out and he spoke out against the manager, said they'd lost their identity. Then you had Enzo Fernandez and was eyeing up a move to Real Madrid. And I think it unsettled the team. I do think deep down that he was the wrong person for the job, Rossinior. Was he just someone there as a whipping boy for the, Bowley upstairs? We know he's just a figurehead. He hasn't got the money that's been spent on Chelsea. It's balling around. But I think if Chelsea are to go forward, I'm not sure that Xavi Alonso is the manager, Ray, as for this group of players. When he was at Bayer Leverkusen, they went a whole season unbeaten in the league, and they called them Bayer never losing, didn't they? But he said to every one of them team, he said, listen, you're going to run, and you're going to run. You're going to chase back. I just don't think this group of players you've got there now, Ray, are the players that Xavi Alonso is going to need to carry on his ideas. What's your thoughts on him?
Yeah. Well, he's got a good record at the moment for what he's done. Germany go through the whole league without losing. I mean, that's got to be something good. I don't really know. I mean, I just think it's Mickey Mouse at Chelsea at the moment. Being a supporter all my life, and when I see managers, Pochettino, he come in, didn't do bad, he's out. Maresco, another one, he won the league with Leicester, didn't he? And he's out. I just, when what's his name? Roman
Abramovich.
Roman Abramovich. When he come on, yes, he bought players, but he didn't buy them. He was picked by the team, the manager at the time. And he said, right, well, it's Di Matteo, wasn't it? He won the World Cup, and then he got lobbed out.
You're at the Champions League. He won the Champions League and then got fired, didn't he, the next day? I remember him going like that with Abramovich. We've done it.
Yeah. And Abramovich, But the thing, he did leave the buying and selling to one of the managers. I can't remember who was before that. And that's where you have people like, we had our feeder club, West Ham. We had John Terry, Frankie Lampard. There was another one who come from
Joey Cole,
yeah. And, that was 3 West Ham players we had. But then you're quite right. He had the spine of the team. He had a big checking goal. John Terry at the back and Ashley Cole. They just had a good team, a good spine. And then you had up the front, the big man, Drogba. Just unbelievable, him. But I just think nowadays football is just a joke, really.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, Ray. When you first started, Ray, do you think the players of yesteryears, when I think of Chelsea, I think of when I really started watching football in the 70s, and I remember literally everyone watched that 70s Cup final, didn't they? It was more like a boxing match, weren't it? It's supposedly called the dirtiest Cup final ever. But I can remember loads of them players now. I could probably speak the team, but I would not be able to name the Chelsea team now.
No, that's true. All I know is Reece James and Sancho, the goalkeeper, who I think is useless. But no, you're quite right, really. In them days, I mean, you had the Lampards. John Terry didn't mess about with the players, did he? He said, you back up, you lot. Carvalho alongside him. Chelsea had a good side, when they won that. And they was only, when they won the League and Cup double, Angelotti was the manager. They won the League and Cup for the first time only, and he sacked him when they was away to Everton, Angelotti. in the dressing room, what's his name? Not Abramovich, the German, Russian. Oh, fucking hell. Sorry about that.
Wait till Robbie said. Yeah, but it doesn't matter about that, Ray. What I'm trying to get in, when you started going, Benetti in goal, you had Eddie Cook, you had Osgood up front, you had Alan Hudson, like just to name low. I mean, Ron and Robbie's favourite players, he always speaks about is Mickey Droy. A mate of mine, Steve, like he goes on about Kerry Dixon, how much he loved Kerry Dixon. Do you think the players of today, because I get it thrown in my face now, they go to me, Dougie, the players you're talking about, let's hypothetically say the Chelsea team of the 70s, he said they couldn't play today because today they're athletes, and I go, well, hold on a minute. Them players played in the worst pitches. They played with heavy balls and they played nearly all season and hardly ever got injured. These players, yes, they might run, a million miles an hour. They've got the city blades on with no laces. So like when they do have a twist, the boot don't support them. Do you remember when we used to play? We'd wrap the laces around about 5 or 6 times around the boots. Some of them don't even wear shin pads. I mean, I see young Delap come on in the I thought he'd come on too late in the FA Cup final. And if you looked at his shin pad, it was about that big. And you think, what good is that? And a lot of these players are picking up a lot of injuries early, aren't they?
Yeah. Very, when I look at when I played football, and like yourself, we always had shin. Hold it, the dog's barking. Shin guards. We had it right up our leg, really, didn't we? We didn't have them silly little ones, and that's what I don't know. When I look at the players, and I used to like the Osgoods and the Hutchinson, one of my favourite players. And as I say, the battle with the battle with Tottenham. Did I ever tell you I had Jack Charlton in my cab? And I picked him up and he got in, and he's a really big bloke. As much as you see him on the telly, when you were standing next to him, he was massive. And he got in and I went, "Hello, Jackie boy, how you doing?" And he went, something to that thing. I went, "You won't like me because I'm a Chelsea supporter." He went even more. So we had a bit of banter all the way. And I said, "Did you keep knocking my man Osgood over?" And he'd go, "Yeah, but your Hutchinson would take it out with Billy Bremner and all that." And I happened to be at that final. I just couldn't believe, what went on. You're looking around, players are rolling on the side, trying to knock, out of each other. And it was just an unbelievable night, really. And of course, to win it was even better. With people.
Yeah, you won it 2-1 in the replay, didn't you?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, we got away with the Wembley one. We played absolute rubbish, but our husband got a lucky goal, and it was always Gary Sprake. Every time he come to Chelsea, it's "Give us a goal, Gary." Give us a goal, Gary.
Yeah.
Do
you know, Ray, I remember we used to call Paul Clements Sprakey. Do you remember Paul Clements when we worked here? He let a goal go in like that. I mean, for me, I like finesse players. I bumped into a guy the other day, a bit like yourself. He was a 60 years long-term fan. His wife was in hospital same time as my sister when they was in the palliative care stage of their illness. And he come over wanting to see me mum. But, my mum's not the same person as she was then. And I said to him, "If you come over, mate." But he started telling me about his years of going. And it's the same thing, nearly 65 years of fan. I mean, it's so much so that his neighbour has put up a flagpole, he's telling me. And when the wind blew the wrong way, the Arsenal flag was in his garden. And he went and knocked on his door. He went, "Listen, I've been a Tottenham fan for over 60 years, so get that flag down." The bloke went, "But the post is in my garden." He went, "Yeah, but when the wind blows this way," he said, "Mate," he went, "take it down." I said, "I'm going to take it down." Anyway, they've fallen out so much over it that the neighbours had to cut the flag down, and they've not spoke since. Do you know what I mean? It just shows you that football does get to us. But like me, Ray, I think some of the players that go missing in a game, like you think are not there. You spoke about Osgood, you spoke about Hutchinson, Mickey Droy, how hard they was. I like the finesse players. Like you had Johnny Hollins, didn't you? He was a great player, weren't he? Johnny Hollins. Alan Hudson, if he didn't have got on the drink, how good would Alan Hudson have been?
Yeah. I had him in my cab and all, Alan Hudson. he got in, I forget where he was, he looked a bit shaky, and I went, "Hello, blue boy, how you doing?" He said, "Oh, are you Chelsea, man?" I said, well, "Yeah." I said, "How are you?" He said, "Well, I'm hoping to get into the ground because Batesy won't allow me to go in the ground because I like a drink." He said, "But when Ramovich, whatever his name was, took over, he let me come in." And that was Alan Hudson.
Yeah. Do you know, over West Ham once, Bobby Moore went up there, and Jonathan Pearce told this story. And it was when he was ill, and all he needed was someone to pay for that camera to go up him earlier. And they didn't even give him a seat, Bobby Moore, and he had to walk out the ground, and afterwards they've named a stand after him and all this. It's pathetic what they do with the older players. Yeah. But did you bumped into Mr. Mourinho? Was he your favourite manager over there?
Oh, yeah, I probably would say that, because all the managers we've had, yeah, he's the one, and he didn't mess around with them. He made them work, the wingers, to come back. But, and I always, when I first see his interview and he said, "I'm the special one," I rang my brother up, my other brother, Dennis, who's not here anymore, and he went, "I think he's very arrogant." I said, "Oh, I love him. I love him." And he wound Ferguson up, didn't he? Wenger, you name it, and he won it. And he won the league, didn't he? And he just
he played a very narrow style of football. I mean, eventually
he did, but he had them working. People like Joey Cole, you had to come back, drop back a little bit, go into somewhere else. But I loved it. I loved the attitude. You know what I mean? Wind them up was even better. But I can't think of any other manager offhand.
Dave Sexton was I sort of found as my favourite.
Yeah,
Dave. He was going back years.
Yeah, Dave Sexton. He was all right, but he was sort of a quiet man, wasn't he? He
went to Man United, didn't he?
Yeah, that's right. He didn't. No, I was Mourinho because I like his attitude, his laugh. He was saying, I'll name the Barcelona team that are playing us next week. And then he got in the old wash basket, didn't he? Rolled in there. Who could do that? Only one but Mourinho. Oh, dear. But I loved him. And then when I happened to meet him...
he knew all the rules, Ray. He knew all the rules. I remember, he knew that if...
Oh, what's happened?
Yeah, I'm listening to you, Ray. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can now, yeah.
Can you hear me? Oh, 1 second.
Recording.
Yeah, Ray, listen, we were talking about Mourinho, and he knew all the rules. He knew that if there was 2 players went down, the ref had to stop the game. That situation you had with the physiotherapist, do you remember when Hazard went down? He knew if the trainer went on, that Hazard had to leave the pitch, and the young girl ran on, and he made her lose her job, didn't she? She won a load of money off it. I've got to tell you a story about Jack Charlton. I read his autobiography, and when he was at Republic of Ireland, everywhere he went, the first place he went, he played with a Czech, and they went to him, "Mr. Charlton, I'm not going to do an Irish accent. This is going to go over the bar. We're never going to check it." So everywhere he went, he purposely played on a Czech. There was Czechs all around these pubs in Ireland, signed by Jack Charlton, and everywhere he went, he never paid for the drink. Ray, do you think football in general is going the right way, or do you? I mean, I've got to be honest. This season, I like going to watch a game of football. Say, for instance, if someone said to me this season, "Dougie, you've got 500 quid, go and watch any game you want, transport there, transport at hotel for the night." I'm struggling where I would go. A couple of seasons ago, I used to like watching Arsenal. I've not liked watching Arsenal this year. I think Man City have been too intermittent. I think Man United have grafted. I don't think they're not played really well. Liverpool, God knows what. We know that Salah's caused a problem there. I think they'll be a lot better next year. Newcastle's not played well. Chelsea's played well. I can't actually think of a team this season that's actually excited me. It's too much negativity back to back, side to side, go back. When years ago, even when we played, we was taught to think progressively and always try to play the ball forward, weren't we?
That's right. Yeah, that's right. No, what frustrates me more is you're watching your team play, and that they're 1-0 down, 1-0 down. So he's got to get a sub on, and I'm shouting at the telly, "Get him off, get so and so on." You know what I mean? It never happened, and I thought, you know, I'm not enjoying this game, especially boring, sideways, backwards, goalkeeper's a centre half, you know what I mean? And cost us so many points, that Sancho, 13 points he cost us. But no, you're right. I don't enjoy it as much as I used to do it. I mean, I do worry about England for the World Cup because I don't think they'll get very far, to be honest. When he's dropping players or like Cole Palmer, even Maguire, I would have.
Oh, I agree.
I would have took Maguire.
No, do you know, Ray? I am not going to bother watching the World Cup. I don't think we should go there. He has come out, Trump, and has said this week the Iran players, are going to stay in Mexico. Trump has said to the Iran team, "I cannot guarantee your safety if you come to America." You can't say that to a team. Does that mean every team he can't guarantee their safety? I've said it to Robbie. I've said it to Charlie. It's an exhibition of football, but now FIFA has become greed. It has become greed. We know what Trump's about, and FIFA is just as bad. I think Cole Palmer, I said this to Robbie, I think you didn't realise how much he was going to miss Nicholas Jackson, because Nicholas Jackson made space. Nicholas Jackson pulled defenders away. And you and I watched the Conference Cup final together. And in the first half, Palmer was eradicated. And in the second half, he moved him, didn't he? And he ran the game and you won 4-1. So I do think you need people up there. And I think he's going back, Jackson, because they've not took the buyout clause at Bayern Munich. So I think he'll be coming back to Chelsea, right?
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, but the thing with Jackson, he did make good runs inside, but he missed the goals, didn't he? Or he was unlucky, hit the post and all that. I mean, I quite liked him because he was an attacking player. And he could, someone pushes it through their defence. I'm trying to think of someone who was playing with him. And he loved it. And he was good. He was good. But
he's a great player. Ray, where do you think you're going to finish next season? I mean, I think he's got a mess. I really do. I think Xabi Alonso's got a mess. Is he one of those managers that's going to stick around? At the moment, we always said Mourinho stuck at places for 2 years. Yeah. It seems like a lot of people stuck. West Ham have been stuck with Nuno for next year, which I'm disappointed with. I can't believe he's staying around, and apparently he's got a bonus clause if we go up. Well, hold on a minute, we went down. So did you pay West Ham a load of money back for going down? Mate, football's just gone berserk, mate. Listen, Ray, I want to thank you for your time. I know, it's been difficult for you doing it. Nurse Susie has arranged this for him, guys. And hopefully we get you on again with Robbie, Ray.
Yeah, okay. Nice to talk to you. Love to Julie.
Cheers, Ray.
Go on your hours.
Love you, Ray.
Ta-ra, mate.
Stay safe, brother.
Bye.
Stay safe.